Police officers are trained to handle various situations, yet some have encountered eerie and unsettling events that are hard to explain, and often leave officers wondering about what they saw, because these encounters will definitely gonna disturb you too.
Convenience store clerk is tied up and tossed in the trunk of his car. Tonight, we have the dash cam video showing police as they make the disturbing discovery during what started as a routine traffic stop.
On August 4th, around 3:30 a.m., police stopped a car for a routine check. Everything seemed normal at first, but then officers heard strange noises coming from the trunk. According to the police officer, the noise grew louder, including banging and muffled yelling. Sensing something was wrong, the police called for backup and cautiously removed the 3 people inside the car, 2 men and 1 woman. With their weapons drawn, the officers opened the trunk and found 22-year-old Sean Blomer, a convenience store clerk, tied up and scared. He had been kidnapped at the end of his work shift. The kidnappers, Trent Bly, Joseph Davis, and Brittany Elder, had tied his wrists with a t-shirt, covered his head with a towel, and thrown him into the trunk of his own car. They then drove around for hours, even making a drug buy while Sean was still trapped inside. Sean had nearly lost hope, but when he saw the flashing blue and red lights through a crack in the taillight, he knew this was his chance to be saved. He started banging and yelling, which caught the officer's attention and led to his rescue. Brittany later claimed she had tried to help Sean and wouldn't let the others harm him, but the police didn't believe her story. All 3 suspects were arrested and charged. What started as a routine traffic stop turned into a dramatic rescue, saving Sean's life. Next, in this police encounter, which took place on October 10th in Hillsborough County, Florida, things took a terrifying turn. It all began when a father made a quick stop and left his truck running for just a moment. But in that brief second, everything changed. Someone jumped into the truck and sped off. What the thief didn't know was that 2 young children were still inside. The frantic father flagged down Deputy Jonathan Pasmino Alvarez, explaining in a rush that his kids, ages 4 and 8, had been taken along with the vehicle. The look in his eyes said it all. This was a race against time. Without wasting a second, Deputy Alvarez called for backup and began the urgent search. Just minutes later, Alvarez spotted the truck driving through a nearby street. His heart raced as he pulled up behind it, flashing his lights.
Stop the truck! Now!
The driver, later identified as 37-year-old Kevin Smith, pulled into a parking lot, but the situation was far from over. As Alvarez approached the vehicle, he could see the 2 children in the back seat, their faces pale with fear.
These not your car?
As you can see, Alvarez ordered him to get out of the vehicle, but Smith kept insisting.
Out of the car. Step out of the car, bro. Okay, step out of the car. Help me on.
Like this would explain anything. One of the kids bravely spoke up. "He's not my father."
Yeah.
All right, step out of the
No,
car.
it's not my dad.
Step out of the car, bro. Step out of the car.
Those words confirmed what Alvarez already knew. He moved in quickly, pulling Smith out of the vehicle and taking him into custody. At that moment, the nightmare was over. The kids were shaken but unharmed, and within minutes, they were safely back in their father's arms. Smith was arrested and later charged with grand theft auto and 2 counts of felony kidnapping. For those few minutes, everything hung in the balance. But thanks to quick action and a bit of luck, the children were rescued, and the day ended with a sigh of relief. The Atlanta police showed up at a house with an arrest warrant. They knocked on the door and announced their presence, but when no one answered, they prepared to force their way in. As they entered, they called out to the person inside.
"Hey, mice attention!"
Show me your hands.
Step up.
Step out, man.
They assured him that they would take care of the baby in the house.
You have an arrest warrant. We'll deal with your son.
Female in the back.
What? We'll take care of the baby, sir. You have an arrest warrant. Come to us.
Once inside, the police quickly searched the area. They found a 1-year-old baby lying on the bed. Shockingly, right next to the child were 2 guns. The officers carefully picked up the baby, speaking softly to keep the child calm. They moved the baby to a safer place and continued their search to make sure the house was secure. All the while, they kept an eye on the child, ensuring he was safe. The situation was tense, but the officers handled it calmly, making sure the child was taken care of first. Later, Atlanta police confirmed that the 1-year-old was safe and that the weapons found next to him had been secured. Police in Brooklyn discovered a woman's torso inside a bag on a street corner in East New York. Surveillance cameras captured an 83-year-old man, a resident of the area, carrying the bag out of his building. When officers searched his apartment, they uncovered a human head. This wasn't the first time he had been in trouble with the law. The man had previously been convicted of killing 2 women, one in the 1980s and another in 1986. He was released from prison in 2019, and now he's back in custody, facing more charges as the investigation continues. Neighbors are in shock, asking how such a horrific situation could happen right in their midst. What do you guys think? If he had already been to prison for serious crimes, why was he out on the streets? On January 8th in Fairborn, Ohio, police responded to a chilling 911 call about an unresponsive 3-year-old girl. The call was made by the girl's mother, Robia Mubali.
Oh, she's still breathing. She's still breathing. Let's go, let's go.
When officers arrived at the scene, captured in disturbing body cam footage, they discovered a horrifying sight. The child, weighing only 16 pounds, was barely clinging to life in a filthy, roach-infested apartment.
Oh my God.
The officers, shocked by the situation, found the girl covered in bug bites and huddled near a severely soiled bed, with her mother nowhere to be found. The officers quickly take the child to urgent medical care, fearing the worst. As the tense situation unfolds, the officers continue searching for the mother. Finally, after what feels like a long wait, they locate her outside the Fairborn home. Now, the questions that come to my mind is, what exactly happened to the child? Why was she left alone? And what will happen to the mother now that she's been found? There are still a lot of unanswered questions, but the footage gives a glimpse into a troubling situation that could have ended much worse. In this video, during a routine traffic stop in Buffalo, the officer found something deeply unsettling. Inside the car trunk, he discovered a cat, caged and covered in oil, salt, and spices. The driver, 51-year-old Gary Core Cook, shockingly told police he was marinating the cat because he planned to cook it. Core Cook explained that the cat was ill-tempered, causing trouble in his apartment. To him, this horrifying act seemed like a solution. Thankfully, Navarro was rescued in time. Core Cook has been charged with animal cruelty, and the SPCA has banned him from adopting any more pets. This unsettling event reminds us how important it is to protect animals from cruelty, no matter how strange the situation may seem. On August 16, 2023, a nightmare unfolded when neighbors heard the terrifying sound of a woman screaming for help. They quickly called 911, and officers from the Louisville Metro Police Department arrived at a home on Bowling Avenue. What they saw was deeply disturbing. The officers noticed a woman in distress, peering from a second-story window, clearly desperate. They tried to enter through the front door, but it was barricaded, leaving them no choice but to get creative. Spotting a ladder, they climbed up to the window where the woman was. Once inside, they found a horrifying sight. She had a heavy chain wrapped around her neck, secured with a master lock. Even worse, the chain was bolted to the floor. Without hesitation, the officers ripped the chain from the floor and freed her. Just 2 days later, on August 18th, police arrested 36-year-old Moises May, the man responsible for this disturbing act. The details of what led up to that terrifying moment were nothing short of shocking. It all began with a heated argument between the woman and Moises May on Monday. Things quickly escalated when May pinned her down, cut off most of her hair with a machete, and slapped her before she managed to escape. By Wednesday, things got even worse. When she returned to collect her belongings, May locked her inside the house, forced her to undress, and made a chilling threat. "You're gonna get it tonight. I'll kill you." He slapped her again and chained her to the floor before leaving with her phone. In a desperate move, the woman broke a window and screamed for help. Neighbors heard her, called 911, and the police rescued her. It was later revealed that the woman and May share a child. While she was physically rescued, the emotional scars will likely last a lifetime. The trauma of being chained, threatened, and trapped in such a terrifying way is something that won't just disappear. How does one heal from that? It's hard to imagine the pain and fear she must have gone through, and it's something she will carry with her forever. So, all these encounters remind us that sometimes the truth is scarier than fiction. After watching these videos, you might find yourself wondering, what would you do if you were in their shoes? Would you stay calm or freeze in fear? Let us know in the comment section below.